Time to talk some boxing, and Paul Upham joins me in studio. Paul, Daniel Geale says it's time to put his friendship on hold with longtime friend and now opponent Jarrod Fletcher. How does this all happen when you step into the ring? How do they all react to this?
Well, as much as they're boxing friends, they're also rivals. And look, they've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in the ring with each other as sparring partners. I guess the plan was they were never going to fight each other. You know, Daniel Geale has been a world champion, and he probably never thought he was going to fight Fletcher, but now he's lost his world title, he's got to get back up there. And it is the biggest fight that can be made in the middleweight division in Australia. It's the two best guys at middleweight, and it's a really interesting fight because they have spent so much time sparring each other.
And Geale, in terms of his career, where does this fight rank?
Look, it's a must-win for both of them. At 33 years of age, a loss here is going to make it really hard for Daniel Geale to get back up there into a world title fight. He wants a win here, and then his promoter in America, Gary Shaw, can get that fight against maybe one of the world title holders. A loss, and it's a long way back. And look, Jarrod Fletcher's 2 years younger at 31. He's never been a world champion, so maybe he's a little bit hungrier. And you never know when guys have been knocked out. Both of them lost last time, how a fight is going to look when they come back. And that's the big question mark. I think anything can happen tonight because we don't know how they're going to be after a loss.
For those who maybe don't understand boxing as much, can you talk us through what the difference is between, you know, getting beaten by knockout and then on points of how they then back up for their next fight?
Well, they can't fight for 3 months. And you know, it's that psyche. We've seen great fighters like Jeff Fennick, who seemed indestructible. Once he was knocked out by Zuma Nelson, he was never the same fighter again. It's something, I'd call it like a brick wall inside him is broken down, and they're never the same. They're aware of their own mortality, seemingly, and they're never the same. And some guys can handle it and go all right, but some other guys come back and they're just not the same. So big question mark, Fletcher and Geale, how they handle the loss.
Yeah, interesting matchup, that's for sure. Now, Paul Gallen, that's the other one everyone's kind of talking about tonight. His second professional boxing match against former NRL player Anthony Watts. How are you expecting this to pan out?
Look, there won't be a lot of technical boxing skill, but there will be a lot of determination in this fight because they both want to win. They've had one win each. We saw on November 6th, Anthony Watts had his first win, only 26 seconds. He looked all right by knockout. He won on the Gold Coast. And Paul Gallen, we saw previously win by knockout, but we saw Watts, he looks all right. He's muscled up. He's a lot bigger than what he was as an NRL player. He played hooker, where Paul Gallen's a forward, like back row or front row forward. So I think size-wise it's a good matchup, but the only question mark is Paul Gallen's been in hospital last week. He had a staph infection in his groin. So he's been 5 days in hospital. To me, that's a question mark. I think Gallen, after the second round, they're only going 4 rounds if it goes the distance, that could be a question mark on Paul Gallen. So maybe he's got to win early.
And Anthony Watts, I mean, his preparation coming into this, besides the win recently, how's that gone for him?
Well, he's had that win on November 6th. He looks in really good condition. He'll be boosted that Gallen was in hospital. You want to hear that your opponent was in hospital last week.
That's not very nice.
But you know what? If I'm looking who's going to win, if it's on sheer will and determination, I got to back Paul Gallen because we've seen what he's done in rugby league. He's got this unbelievable spirit, and I think he might win, but I think it'll be a very interesting contest, a very good battle.
Yeah, super competitive, both of them, I'm sure. Paul Upham, thanks so much for coming in. Now, the fight night is here, and the best place to catch the action is on Main Event from 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Looking forward to that.